Hi guys. Look, well, not broke, but I ripped a nail. Um, but welcome to the Nail Files. This is episode 4. My name is Elena, and I like to paint to press on nails and talk about true crime, creepy stories, mysteries, history that's not well known, that kind of stuff. Um, I do wear the nails I paint. I have a lot of nails. I have so many sets of press-on nails that I painted before I started this channel. I do wear them, but I don't do all of the nail prep that you would do if you wanted to wear your nails for, like, I know some people can wear them for a month at a time. Um, I don't do that because I get bored of the same nails design after a day or two, so I glue mine so that I can pop them off with the least amount of damage to my natural nail as possible. That way I can change them to another set or let my natural nails just kind of hang out for a few days without anything on them. I also do my full-time job. I do a lot of typing, so I don't always have a set of nails on. I can't wear the. I don't have a clue. Like, have you guys seen those ladies in offices that have the really pretty long nails and they're able to type? I don't have that skill. Like, teach me. um, so I have to have a short set on or none on. But I do wear them. You guys just don't see them while I'm painting nails because I'm also scared that I will mess up the set that I would be wearing. Um, we might go through all of my nails one day. Maybe I'll make a video of and just look at all the sets that I do have. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome to the Nail Files. Like I said, today we're going to talk about Carmen Thomas of New Zealand. Also, I don't sell press-on nails. I find pictures of nail sets that I like on Pinterest, and then I recreate them for myself. So everything you see me paint, they're mine. My daughter does have a collection of nails, but she doesn't wear them. She wears them like once in a while she'll put a pair on, but not really. Um, she just likes to have them. Like, let's see, I painted her a set of Oogie Boogie nails just because she wanted to have them. um, but I will put in the description box who the creator of the nails was. I do my best to find the original, like the actual creator of the nails, because I know a lot of Pinterest boards are just reposts of other people's stuff. Um, if I if the picture is not watermarked, or the creator wasn't tagged, I may get it wrong. If I get it wrong, I'm very sorry. I do my best to figure out who actually created the nails, but just in case, I may get it wrong, but I will put it in the description. You guys, I will get better at this. I'm sorry. But anyway, so Carmen Thomas of New Zealand. On July 13th of 2010, an Auckland woman named Carmen Thomas was reported missing by her ex-boyfriend, Brad Callahan. Callahan told the police that Carmen didn't pick up their son, Jack, according to their custody arrangements and that he was worried. The police launched an investigation into Carmen's disappearance. She was nowhere to be found. No one could find her. But 3 months later, Brad was actually arrested for her murder. Brad was arrested on September 21st of 2010. So, Carmen Thomas was born in South Africa and moved to the UK when she was around 16 years old. Carmen was described as a bubbly woman who loved life and had a contagious laugh. When she laughed, everyone laughed with her. Brad Callahan was a structural engineer from Ramera. I promise, I do. Like, I swear, I try to figure out the pronunciation of names of places and people, but I'm sure I get it wrong. But he was a structural engineer, and he worked briefly overseas in the UK, and that's where he met Carmen. Their relationship was brief, but they did have a son together, and when Brad moved back to New Zealand, sorry, cat hair on the nails, guys, but so Brad moved back to New Zealand. Carmen moved to New Zealand also with their son so that they could share custody of Jack. So on June 28th of 2010, Carmen called Brad and asked him if he would come over to her place because she needed to talk to him about Jack's schooling. So Jack was at that time 5 years old, and they needed to talk about some things going on at school. So Brad went over to Carmen's apartment the next morning at around 8:30 a.m. and Carmen told him that their son was being bullied in school and that he needed to be moved. She wanted to change his schools. But then she also told him, quote, "You have no say in this because you're not his father," end quote. I wasn't able to figure out if that was just to hurt Brad, like a dig at him, or why she was quoted as saying that. We don't have a recording of it, so it's just said that that's what Brad's, lawyer said that Brad had told him that that's what she told him. So I'm not sure if it's true or why or anything, but this is what made Brad become enraged. He, was just livid with Carmen, and he ended up hitting Carmen at least minimal 8 times in the head with a child's baseball bat, which fractured her skull. There was reportedly a lull in the attack, and Carmen's neighbor, who was also Carmen's landlady, heard Carmen screaming and then heard a man's voice saying, "Shh, shh, it's okay, be quiet." So she heard a man shushing the woman that was screaming, Carmen, trying to get her to, shush, stop making so much noise. That's real inconvenient. I'm trying to murder you. Be quiet. So the landlady also reported that she saw Brad leaving Carmen's apartment with blood on his clothes. And Brad was actually able to explain away the blood on her clothes, and I guess also why Carmen was screaming. Um, so he convinced the landlady neighbor that Carmen was very sick, that she was vomiting blood. This is why she was making so much noise. This is, to explain the blood on his clothing. But he said that Carmen had gone to sleep. She was fine. No need to call the police. No need to be worried. Everything was, hunky dory. Everything's good. So nobody, the landlady, went with it. She said, okay, and moved on. So Brad, um, then arranged to meet a friend of his at a local supermarket. I guess kind of, got to have an alibi. Um, but the men bought cleaning products, kerosene, disposable gloves, and trash bags. Nothing suspicious here, guys. Just I'm cleaning. I don't understand the kerosene. I never got that figure. Like, were we cleaning things with kerosene? Because that's not a cleaning product. And he didn't burn her house. I don't know I don't understand the kerosene. Um, but he used these items to clean Carmen's apartment. It's also reported that Brad had allegedly bought a meat cleaver, and he used that to dismember Carmen's body and placed the pieces into concrete that he had placed in plastic containers. So he ended up burying the plastic containers out in the bush in Australia. Well, not Australia. Gosh, what? Sorry, New Zealand. I swear I know where I'm talking about. Um, but that was not his original plan. Um, his original plan was to bury her at sea. So I guess that's what, that's why he used concrete in the plastic containers and then placed the body parts in the concrete. Um, but he ended up having to bury the containers. But then Brad, after this, worked really hard to cover all of his tracks. After cleaning Carmen's apartment and disposing of all of the evidence, he, like I said, he removed her body from her home. He dismembered her, all of that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, guys. If I ever sound like it, I laugh at awkward things, and I'm sorry. Um, but he took Carmen's phone and he used her phone to text himself. So he was sending text messages between the two phones between June 29th and July 10th. So he wanted it to look like Carmen had just left New Zealand. He was getting messages from Carmen's friends and her neighbor, and he was, messaging them back, trying to ease all of their concerns. Look, I'm talking to her. She's clearly fine. She's just not here. I don't know why. Um, he even some of the one of the messages he texted to Carmen's phone was, "Hey, can you please call? Jack wants to talk to you. Also, I want confirmation of Sunday. I hope you're better." So just kind of carrying on the storyline of she had been very sick when I was there to see her. Um, so obviously she was not fine. He had dismembered her and buried her. But the police stated that Brad had made 12 calls to Carmen's phone before going to the police to actually report Carmen as missing. So he ended up reporting her as missing, but not after he had done everything he thought possible. Another cat here, guys, sorry. But that he thought would get him out of all of it. Look, I've done all of this. I did not do anything. 10 days after Carmen was last seen, Brad returned to her apartment with their son to make it look like he had expected to find Carmen there. The landlady told the police that Brad claimed that he had texted Carmen and had gotten no reply and fully expected her to be at home, so he went to find her. Just, went through so much to try and prove that he was innocent. I didn't do this. I had no part in it. But remember when I told you guys that he was going to bury her at sea? So, he had actually tried to get a friend of his to help him dump the body at sea, but that friend backed out after he helped load the remains on the boat. He just kind of didn't feel right, like something's fishy here, something's wrong, and said, no, I'm not going to do this. So he had no help, so he ended up having to take the remains, out to the bush in New Zealand and actually buried her. They think around July 6th of 2010. The man remained unnamed, a friend of his that he called for help, but the friend actually turned state witness against Brad. So Brad was sentenced by the high court to life in prison with a non-parole period of 13 years and 8 months for murder and attempt to prevent the course of justice. Their son will be 15 if Brad is released at his first parole hearing. Thanks for watching, you guys. Like and subscribe. Bye.